Hello everybody, my name is Ratnos, and welcome to This Week in Mythic Plus. This week's Shadowlands affixes are Fortified, Bursting, Storming, and Tormented. The Legion affix also Fortified, obviously Infernal instead of Tormented, and the other affixes are Sanguine and Quaking in Legion. Now I think the way it works for Legion is there's just two sets of affixes, so next week we'll cycle back to that tyrannical week we had last week, and then the week after that we'll cycle back to this fortified week, and then it will go off the calendar, because for those who missed it, Legion time walking has been extended until the 4th of January, so 2 extra weeks on top of the 2 we were already getting. So a lot of time to do some Legion dungeons if you're interested over this holiday season. Pretty fun thing to do. A lot of the old dungeons hold up rather well. Most of the really powerful items in those old dungeons, there was a hotfix that came out yesterday that made them so they're not really that necessary to have. They used to do uncapped AoE, and now they're dealing increased damage up to 5 targets and then stopping there. And they do slightly higher base damage, but they're not really too... I don't think they're too important to grab. If you're paranoid, you can of course still grab them. And the auto attack ring for any auto attackers from Court of Stars is also not bad. So there are some items that are pretty cool from Legion. The Shadowlands side of things, we're looking at a pretty solid push week, right? Bursting, Storming, Fortified, one of the best ones out there for high key purposes, because the affixes don't really slow down the timer very much. So definitely a good week for pushing of keys. I bet we will see some pretty high ones done this week, although maybe teams will take a bit of a break now that the Great Push is over. Those teams that were competing in them, some of the same teams that were putting up some of the highest keys on the leaderboard, and may be deciding to take this one off. Although, push weeks only come around every so often, so we'll see what they decide to do. We'll see whether we see some new records showing up on the leaderboard. Another thing I want to highlight this week is actually a post from Reddit. So this competitive WoW post, I'll put a link in the comments below, from Blaring Mailer, that really does a great job of explaining how the double pulls in the Mist of Tyrannus Scythe maze work, with explanations and notes and stuff about how to do it. A list in the post of like which classes can do it easily, and that is a way for you to get extra count from the maze, which means you need to get less count from the rest of the dungeon, which is nice in the case that you're interested in doing that, right? If you want to be pulling 2 packs at a time, the maze doesn't let you do that unless you do something like this, and this is a good way to speed things up. So if you're interested in actually adding this skill to your toolbox, this post is a really good way to do it. And of course, watching people's streams while they're doing it as well can be a really helpful way too. Going back and watching any like MDI or Great Push Mist of Tyrannus Scythe runs, you'll see a lot of these strategies employed, and in fact some like dwarf gnome height-based ones that are much harder to explain because they're very precise positions. Anyways, a little post I figured it'd be worth highlighting. Link will be in the description. Yeah, we got a good push week this week. We got another good push week coming up next week, the good tyrannical week. Raging Volcanic Tyrannical. That's probably the best affixes there for Tyrannical. Well, I guess Bursting Volcanic's a little better, but the best ones in 2020 left in this year. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck out in your keys this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.